Thought guys came out, had good work day, third down situations, a little 2 minute early to start practice. You're trying to, once again, push as much speed on speed as we can. Really, I think that's something that's so important as you get to this time of year. Yes, I mean, our guys, and we're going into our 8th game. I mean, there's some bumps, there's some bruises, there's things that you got to deal with, but it's still about progression. It's still about growth. We talk about the work that's necessary, and that's what we're trying to continue to pour into. But there's some things we're gonna have to clean up. Just it still comes down to the communication, the little things, the fundamentals, and those things that have to build throughout the year. Obviously, as we talked about, earlier in the week. I mean, this is a unique scheme that we're going to face defensively, and with what they do offensively. It's as multiple as what we've seen. You got to play with your eyes. You got to play, and be confident in your fundamentals of what you're getting, and then you got to go out there and play fast and the best of your ability. But I thought our guys had a good day overall, but still some areas that we got to continue to improve.
How much does having experience on the roster, especially on defense, benefit you when you play a team like Wake that runs something very unique?
I mean, it helps. The guys that have seen it before, that can understand and kind of tell the guys that maybe that haven't, what that could look like. But I mean, every year is going to be unique to itself, and maybe some of the things we're asking guys to do, some of the things will it will be unique to this year, and so ultimately, that's always a part of it. But it does help to have some experience in guys that have at least gone through and faced a little bit of this offense.
With the shots that Marcuston had, I think he may have missed a block on the 4th and 1 on the next drive. Came back, a couple of receptions, just for him to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's because that was kind of a statement on at the beginning of it. But there's a couple things on that play that should have been better, and it wasn't just all on him. So, but he's somebody that. I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing steps. We tend to forget with Marquiston. Coming out of high school, he played 1 year of football. And the first year here, he was unavailable. Just to be able to do really anything physically. And you sit there and you go through, his growth, the production of what he's brought. His brightest days are in front of him. And I try to push him really hard because I just believe so much in what he can become. But you see the response, and I thought he played harder than what he's played, just in blocking, and had a couple good catches, a couple impact plays, and so I like the progression I'm seeing, but you still want more.
Coach Atkins talked about trying to run in being able to run in obvious running situations. Do you feel like you guys are getting closer to being able to do that, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely. You want to be as efficient and productive in all situations. When somebody knows you're going to run, let's go finish it. And whether it's at the end of the game or whether it's at some point throughout the game, we've got to be able to have that as a mentality. That hey, look, we're going to go get it, and that's something that we're still working on. You get different looks, you get different things that you got to improve upon. And there's times that even as coaches, like. We played a lot of multiple teams, and there's some times that you'll have a play call, and I'll sit back and I'm like, man, how many times did we rep this? Did we give them the foundation to be able to go execute at the best of their ability with the number of reps in practice? Now, I'm not a fortune teller. I can't always see what somebody's going to do. But we can anticipate a lot of different looks, and there's things, whether it's individual rep, make sure we're talking through it on video. But then there's also times where I feel like guys are. You got to go out there and you got to trust it. You got to trust it in the moment, and it's all a great balance. But we absolutely want to be able to take control in situations where somebody knows we're going to run, and hey, listen, we're coming to run. So that's something that is important for our growth.
You see how much time you spend on special teams every day out here at practice. How validating is it seeing how many different ways that's shown up in success this season?
No, I mean, it's the foundation of one of the foundations of our program, and we talk about that. I think Coach JP does a wonderful job, and how he attacks, but how he also builds a system for our guys. And I'm going to be in every special teams meeting there is. Like, I think that our guys understand the importance from the top down of what that's going to be, how we teach the technique, the fundamentals. there's a lot of buy-in around this program because the guys have seen the impact. They've seen the difference. And, you look into this year, and it's been very positive for us. And I'm telling you, there's still so many times that you look back already in this up to this point of the year and like, man, we could have been so much better. And so there's still ultimate growth that's necessary. But, man, I'm really proud of our guys and just their confidence in what we ask them to do because, if you want it to be good, you got to invest in it. And I think we do when it comes to the work and practice and obviously the way our guys, they implement that into each game.
Have you been frustrated with the 2-minute, 1-minute drills at the end of the first half? You've been very good on offense overall, but like those situations, maybe the last few weeks, I feel like you've gotten the ball in the final minute a few times and not been able to get down to where you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be able to consistently execute down. We've had this last week. I thought we moved the ball well, but then obviously there was a play that's been what showed up is we've been able to move, we've been able to do some good things, but we've got to be more consistent. So yes, anytime we don't score, it frustrates me. But on the flip side of it, I don't feel like it's something that's restricting us. We just because there's also some situational things that we need to be aware of that like this last game. Obviously we wanted to make sure that we gave ourselves a chance. Duke was getting the ball coming out. Obviously there were some other factors that we don't want to take a chance of throwing into something that could have been a negative play that allow another possession. And I think it's basically the same thing. I think at Virginia Tech we took a first play negative, which never want to do. And so we were a little bit more reserved in what we were in our attack. So yes, we need to not give up the negative plays in those situations, and if we'll do that, I think we'll be much better.
With the recent news with Michigan sign stealing, is that something you guys are worried about? And how do you guys safeguard from that potentially being a problem?
Well, I think when you sit there and you look at sign stealing within games, that has been forever. Like that is, back when the people started going no huddle and people started staying, spreading out and communicating everything from the sideline, people look at the sideline, and if you consistently do this and then you run the same play every time and that's it, somebody's going to pick up on it, just like a normal tendency. It's our job. We have a very elaborate way of how we communicate. Now, accusations of people going and watching games, well, that's just it's an unethical thing. It's not. It's against all parts of the rules of what's stated. So that's I can't defend if somebody chooses to come and watch our games. That's you can't defend it. You do all the things that you can control within the game. But ultimately, it's the same deal when it comes to all of it. But you can't I guess keep somebody from doing that other than what the rules are in place.
With more so you're not allowed if you go out of bounds at all. You're not allowed to come back in and establish.
No, if you step out on your own terms, then you cannot be the first to catch the ball.
But
if you're pushed out, and that was my question, I would say.
But they reviewed it still.
You'll see that. It was like I don't know. And then the kid just said,
so you don't teach him to just run straight?
No, that would be a really good play. Go run out of bounds, let everybody leave, and then you just jump back in. Yeah, no, we don't teach them that.
So, Coach Norvell, we hear all this talk about maybe putting headsets into the helmets like they do in the NFL for the quarterbacks, but wouldn't that mean you have to huddle since the whole team looks over to the sideline to get the play from you guys instead of just giving it to one person?
Absolutely, and that's where people talk about the player the coach to player communication. I don't think it's still not going to fix. When people say, well, or somebody's stealing signals, well, if that's what you're going to live in, then everybody's going to have to huddle. It's still your choice of what you want to do. If you want to play at tempo, if you want to play fast, because back in the day when I was in Little League football, they just grabbed one player, told him to play, and he ran out and told everybody else. There was no signal stealing there, but that was the process of what was necessary. Now people realize you can go fast, you can communicate quicker, so it's always that's always going to be a part of it. When it comes to my concerns and the things that I don't necessarily don't necessarily like. I think if we get to a point of having coach to player communication, I think there needs to be real restrictions on just the amount of time. I mean, the NFL, you have 32 teams. Everybody's got their certain setup. It's a closed, secure system, and it cuts off at a certain amount of time. I don't want to lose the integrity of the game of having to coach, having to teach, having to develop. I mean, having to help somebody. I mean, if I sit there and I'm on the sideline and I see something, I say, hey, this is what's coming, or hey, this is that. Like that's, I like that part of my job. I mean, and that's what people get a chance to go do. So I think if technology is great, and I'm all about if that's what people decide to do, and if you want to huddle, nobody will ever steal your signals. But on the flip side of it, like I just want to make sure that that's where we go, that there's enough restrictions to where coaching, application, growth within people that we're not playing video games with kids that are out there or with young men that are out there going through it, telling them everything that they need to do or what it is, because that's the best, one of the best parts of my job is seeing the growth and development of somebody playing with confidence based off what they see from how they practiced and applying the right fundamentals. So that's my answer to that.
Thanks, Coach.